Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to make a pinwheel tower card, but first I'm going to show you how to make embossing powder out of mica powder. I hope you'll stay tuned. So what I've done is I've taken some mica powder. This is from the Hippie Crafter. I love their colors. They're very, very vibrant. And then I've mixed it with embossing powder. Now I tried this once and I didn't have enough embossing powder in the mix because when I did it, it didn't adhere like it should have when you have enough embossing powder. It just, only some of it really showed up. So I'm mixing the two together on a piece of plastic here. Put that off to the side. I'm going to take my pouch. I'm going to use regular ink. I'm not going to be using Versamark, and well, I could use a combination. I might use a combination. I have my images already in my Stamp Perfect, and keep in mind my Stamp Perfect is kind of beat up, but my Misty's out of the under some things, so I'm not gonna dig for it. So I'm going to put my little piece of cardstock in here. I'm going to stamp it first with, well, first I'm going to use my pouch because I don't want to forget to do this. Now, how many times we've all forgotten this step, right? When you're using mica powder, this is especially important because it's kind of hard to wipe it back off. So you want to make sure that you do a good job of really powdering it up. This is either cornstarch or baby powder. Either one will work. If you don't have one of those, you need to do that when you're doing embossing. It makes a big difference. I'm going to use two different inks. The first ink I'm going to use is from Stampin' Up. It's an old color called Tempting Turquoise. Don't know if they make it anymore, but I wanted to have a turquoise colored base to make sure that I get some really good color on this. So we're going to do that coloring first. And we're hoping that I don't get a lot of the blue that's on the edges of this stamp. I'm going to ink it one more time. You want your image to be fairly wet because that's going to help that mica powder / embossing powder adhere. So the better job you do this step of making it wet, the better it's going to be. I know I should use that tool that I rub this with, but you know how I roll. I get excited and I forget all the tools that I should be using. I'm going to do one more time with the word happy. I got these stamp sets from Crafter's Companion, and they're those kind of stamps that don't really like to adhere to the ink all over. So I'm trying to make sure that they're not blotchy. Versamark is just a sticky ink that allows you to turn almost anything into an embossed image because it allows for the sticky. Okay, so that's where we stand at this point. Then it's really important that you have a lot of embossing powder in your mix of mica powder because your embossing powder is what's going to hold it to your card. And if you've ever played with mica powder, you know a little bit goes a long way. And I'm just going to rub this across my image. Don't put this back in with anything you already have, like your embossing powders or your mica powders. You need to create a special bottle for it because if you don't, you're going to end up having color basically ruin whatever you put it with because it's not plain mica powder and it's not plain embossing powder. Hopefully that made sense. I'm going to start at the bottom to heat this up. to get everything to stick. And then, once you get it started to adhere, to melt, then go at it from the front. You will also know if you've done a good job of adding embossing powder, because you'll see some of it will be shiny and some of it won't. The part that's not shiny is the part that doesn't have any embossing powder mixed with the mica powder. You have mainly just mica powder there, and this might not it might not seal to your paper. It still looks pretty good, but it's not all shiny, which is kind of disappointing because I thought I did a good job. Once it's not so hot, you can take it and just wipe it off on a piece of paper, and it should take, not piece of paper, on a cloth. That's what you wipe it on, a piece of paper, Sandy. Jeepers, creepers. There you go. I don't think it looks bad. I'm going with it. I probably, if I was doing it again, I'd probably add even more embossing powder into this mix to make sure that it really is shiny. But that's where we stand. So whoever asked me to make mica powder, embossing powder, that's how I did it. And honestly, if I was doing it again, and I will because I'll be using this, I won't throw it away. I'll just add more embossing powder to it before I use it again, because I want to make sure that it's not going to waste. So now we have our sentiment made, and we're going to make a pinwheel tower card. If you've never made one of these cards, they look hard to make, but they're really, really simple. You're going to take a piece of cardstock that is 5 3/4 by 4 1/4. Out of the way. Then you're going to need your scoreboard. We're going to score on the 5 3/4 inch length. Get it out of there, Sandy. There you go. All right. On the 5 3/4 inch length, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch. You're going to score at 1 1/2, 2 1/4. And 3. That's all the scoring you're going to do. This is a very easy card. If I didn't say that already, it's a very easy card to make. The hardest part is over with. It's basically the scoring. Then you're going to fold and burnish your scores. And we're going to fold them all going in this direction. And it's going to turn into a box. I just want to make sure, all of my folds are nice and flat, because you want this to turn into a box. And when you make your box, you want all of these folds to be nice and clean. All we need to do now is we're going to put 1 row of tear tape. You can do wet tape if you want. Right along this last, I don't know even what we're going to call that, panel. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. I'm going to use my aqua glue, I think. Okay. So all we're going to do, we're going to fold it into a square and line it up. Just hold it in place for a second to make sure it sets up. So once your box is, your square is built, then you're going to want to put your papers in place. You want to start with this square that's here's your piece that's sticking out. Then you're going to want to put your first one right on top of that piece. So I'm going to lay that one right in there. That's that piece. Then the next one, you're going to want to put on top of the next piece. This is where I'm going to want to put this piece. And this piece is the one that I put my sentiment on. So I can start my card with, you know, the congratulations part of the card at any point on this. Not, you know, no one part of this needs to be the front, if you know what I'm saying. You can just make whatever the front. And we're going to back all of these. We're going to add these little layers. And these layers are 2.5 by 4. Then I'm also going to put some on the back, like some pattern paper on the back of these. So I've got those pieces on. Now I just need to put pieces on the back. Let's see. If I did 1 3/4, I think that would look good. 1 3/4 by 4. This little piece in. There's that one. And I don't know why I keep saying 1 3/4 by 4. I'm pretty sure you got that already. I don't know. These are the issues I have. And then one more right here. I made a bunch of die cuts of the word congratulations. I haven't decided if I'm going to put those on there, but I thought it might be fun to make kind of like a spinning, a little, I don't know, a little, looks like a little spinning card with the word congratulations on each of the panels. I could do congratulations, congratulations. So if you've never heard of these things, they're called sticky specs. I'm pretty sure that's the name of them. And what they are is it's a way to get these really little thin die cuts attached to your projects. And what you do is you pull the backing off. The backing is this gold paper. In order to get your die cut off of here, the easiest way to do it is to pull, not the die cut, but you pull the gold paper. And for some reason the gold paper doesn't want to come off right now, so I'm going in reverse and doing it the other way. It's very sticky, as you can imagine. I'm doing congratulations. I'm going to start way at the far end of this and try and keep it straight. It's never easy putting a very thin die cut on a project, but these sticky specs do make it a lot easier than it normally is, in my opinion. And this L I didn't get all the way on, and so I'm going to have to lay it against the sticky specs again. I'm just going to try and pull it off and stick the top of the L and then get some on. That's how that worked. I hope I can get this whole word on here. Okay, it's looking like it might happen. I'm going to put some of these pearls little congratulations. Here's how it looks. There's the congratulations. Well, I guess it starts right there, 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 and then there's the opening. Or I'm going to write my little note. And it's going to be a very little note because I'm going to write another note to go with the box. As you know, I made this for her gift that I gave her. So I think what I'll do is, I think that's where I'll stop on the card. I wasn't sure exactly how much I wanted to do with this card, but I think I like the congratulations, and I like the way it matches up with the bag. Here's the card with the package. The one thing that's really nice about this kind of card is it fits in a regular A2 size envelope, so you don't have to go out and look for special envelopes. It's good to go in the one that you have already for it. So I hope you enjoyed this card and coordinating gift bag, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.